Okay.
Hi, welcome. This is Binyamin. I'm interviewing Laura Hershey. And Laura, you're in Texas. You're in your car. Thank you so much for coming out. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks. I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been into typology for a while, or is it new for you?
Yes and no. I was really into anecdotal, for a long time. Um, I think the first thing I knew about was, choleric, sanguine, melancholy, phlegmatic.
Okay, I don't know that. Okay.
You don't? Oh, that's
No.
like, oh, I can't even think. That goes back to Socrates or something.
Okay, all right.
So it's just kind of temperaments.
The
So
temperaments. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right. I think it's Aristotle, right? I'm not sure.
yeah. Okay, Aristotle. Yeah,
Right.
that works.
Okay.
But, other than that, it's been like those personality page. I never did socionics. That never made sense. I never wanted to dig. So I just wanted to know about myself and what makes me tick. So just like personality page was my go-to page.
Okay, nice. All right. Well, we also want to know about you and what makes you tick. So thanks for coming. I hope you have enough information for us. Cool. All right. So you seem a little bit extroverted. You maybe you have two like blast and play. You have both or no?
um, Blast,
Blast,
which,
yeah. You have
answers
play though.
so many questions. I posted several times, Dave and Shan differ. Um, Dave has me play third and Shan has me consume third. So, um,
Oh,
but I'm just like this. I can't get over this fact that I'm such a consumer. So,
right.
but I think there's lots of other reasons for stuff, and I've had people trying to help me explain it.
I
I
see.
don't want to just uh, focus on myself. It's not about self focus. It's about getting past my faults so I can get on with the other stuff.
Right, right.
So
Okay.
I
Okay.
really
So
don't like the self focus, but I am self focused. Blah.
right. But you are tribe over self?
No,
No. You're self
no, no,
over
no, no,
tribe.
no. Yes,
Okay.
sir. It's all about
So
me.
all right. So that's why you're trying to get over that aspect, I guess. Okay.
Yes.
So what? Then you sleep first.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay.
I
And
am.
so your lead OI.
Yes,
Okay. Interesting. All right.
it
It's
is.
SI? Is it SI?
Yep, it is.
Oh,
It is.
great. I'm
That's
so
what
happy. I don't have an SI yet. Thank you so
I
much.
know. Nobody does.
Yeah.
Well, me and poor Anita, we're like, give us something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm happy that we have an SI because for okay, I'm gonna explain a little bit here because I was reading Young and SI is like the one thing that it like I don't think he didn't explain it like very fluently the SI. I don't think he really knew all like he explained OI really well, but then the SI was just so weird. And I think my mom is lead SI too, and so yeah, like I anyway, yeah, that's cool. So tell me a little bit about your SI.
Well, let me first tell you that for 20 years I identified as an INTP, although I knew my F and T were balanced. I knew
Okay.
without a doubt my F and T were balanced. There's just no, I'm as rational as I am a crier. I always think things through to the end. I'm a real fair person. So I knew that was balanced.
Okay.
But I still identified as INTP because I have the intuition I thought I had is I think I'm realizing, and it's a very hard process. I was typed clear back in June, and then
Right.
still just because I was so entrenched in that INTP. I was part of
Oh,
the the Few the Proud, the INTP females
right.
on Facebook for years, and I was just entrenched in that identity.
Right.
I can't even
But
tell you. So,
are you though SITI?
no, SI,
FI.
FI. I'm
Okay.
skipper.
Okay.
Yeah, special snowflake.
So you don't have INTP on your coin either. You're okay.
Yeah, but what I was perceiving as intuition, I think I've come to realize is this, this I guess it's sensory, because I thought that taught, uh, just several comments I've made in the in the group, two things that really stand out to me. is, you know, the description, and I posted this 2 or 3 times, people are probably sick of hearing it, but the description that we use known facts, I don't get because
Right.
I'm like, I, I scan the room, like just like a robot,
Right. Right.
changes, comparisons. I'm just taking in so much information, and yes, I narrow it down. I do get that. I'm
Right.
like filing it and consolidating and compressing. I get that, but I am taking in so stinking much information.
Yeah.
And I think that comes out as intuition because I know everything that's going on around me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
and I
that,
think
that well
that's
that
what
is, but you have NE, and like that's your observer's NE. So anytime you're actually doing observing, it's going to be NE. So you might have a fascination with your demons.
oh, I do.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. And I think, I mean, my understanding of it was because, I'm always doing physics and astronomy and I mean, I watch all those shows. That's all I watch
Right.
is, just I would just want to know more, more, more
Right.
about that side but I am not very good at it.
Okay.
I can't, I'm like,
Maybe the
how was
understanding.
Einstein just, yeah, sitting there going, I'll have a thought experiment. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you have a thought experiment?
Right. So my mom is lead SI, and she
Okay.
will pick up. She'd be like a hound dog. She'll find a scent of something, and she just won't let go until she figures it out. Like it's just yeah. And then like she'll know everything I did during that entire day, like Sherlock Holmes. She'd be like, "You did that, then you went there, then you went there." And she'd be able to follow my trail. Yeah,
Yes.
you're like
Yeah.
that
And
too.
see that's intuition to me.
Yeah.
I always identified that with, I'm just like, I magically know.
Yeah.
I remember one of the anecdotes I read was when you're at a stoplight, you're looking down and fiddling with everything in your car and when the light changes.
Right.
And that was an intuitive. And I'm like, I, I could drive from here to home and never look up.
Right. Right, right. And yeah, like if you suspect somebody of something, so then you'll like dig deep into it
Oh,
until yeah, until you
and I
figure out if
think people have ulterior motives too.
right. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
well,
that's
that's not what they really mean.
right. That's really interesting. Okay. Okay, so tell me about then your sensory, like what you're getting from your senses, cuz like you see the world as a pattern. So what is your sensory for you?
Mm, I don't understand.
um like uh like the details of everything that's going on around you and
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there's things that I miss, but I'll know if somebody hung a new picture or
Right.
but it is a strange thing because they talk about the memory. And I didn't think I had memory because I
Okay.
can't remember to, you know, go renew my license. But, if you ask me, what happened at so and so's wedding back in 80, I'm
Right.
like, oh yeah, somebody came with somebody and we had
Right.
this kind of cake and
Yeah, but you explained two very different things there. You'd explain like an experience that happened to you in the past, and you explain something that you have to do. It's like it's two different things. Yeah. I can't remember what I got
okay,
to do, but like you'll remember what happened to you.
yeah,
Right. Okay. Is your sensory masculine or feminine?
masculine.
Oh wow, that should be you should be good at remembering things. Yeah. So are you really like experiences? You like I don't know, road trips and like you're very what's it called? Reminiscent, sentimental, things like that.
No, I'm not sentimental, but I may have beat that out of myself because I didn't like it when I was younger.
Okay.
Um, I really, but then again, it may have just emerged. Um, but I want to tell you, and that this is something I don't understand, and I don't really understand sleep as being lazy. But I mean, I would stay in a recliner all day long. You're talking about road trips, and I do. I had an RV. I used to go to state parks and everything, but it was in context with I was already on the road and I wanted something to do, and I would go park at the state park and sit all weekend.
Right.
So I have this, and it is the most frustrating thing about myself is this this lack of, it's not really lack of motivation. It's just this thing that happens to me, you know, when I'm watching a show and they're in Thailand, I experience it. I've
Right.
been into Thailand. I can talk about it like I was there yesterday. It's so
Uh,
stupid. Does that make sense?
yeah.
And
Also,
and
yeah, go ahead.
so I never, I mean, I was married to, a tribe extroverted guy, and he planned everything for me. We'd go on ski trips with couples or anything. We traveled, Dallas trips, go to the Rangers games. He was my social director. And man, since I've been divorced, I just stay home.
Oh, okay. But okay, so, but I wanted, I forgot what I wanted to ask. Something
Oh,
about
sorry.
no, no, it's that's fine. That's perfect. I wanted you to get you talking anyways. So so your
About
SI,
road trips and stuff. I do like
right,
experiences, and I'll basically go do anything if somebody gets me to go.
right.
I'm
Well,
always willing.
one of the things I also noticed with SI is that like your experiences and your memories are really deep and detailed, and and when they come out, they sound like very factual and dry. But like for you, when I don't know about for you, but for the person with SI, when they're describing it, they're like reliving it in a way, and they don't maybe realize that other people aren't doing that. Does that feel like that's true for you?
Yes, sometimes I tell people, and I didn't bring them on the trip with me.
Right.
I'm explaining something to them, and I didn't bring them on the trip with me. That kind of thing, because all that event happened in my mind, and they're like, "Where are you coming from?"
Right.
Is that kind of what you mean, or?
Yeah, yeah. Cause like for you, it's so real, and you're describing something that's like so true and vivid, right? And then,
Uh-huh.
yeah, okay, that's interesting. So, so okay, so that's your SI. Okay, so then your FI, how do you experience that?
I don't know. I just, I'm really so confused. I'm this person that Dave talks about that's really, really slow to come on board. Heather's even had some like little private sessions with me trying to help bring me on board
Okay,
because I'm real slow to, even though I have a high intellect,
right.
I'm real slow to, I just can't talk
The
the
lingo, right,
talk.
right, right,
Yeah. And
right.
so, uh, I lost track of what I was saying.
We're
Anyway,
gonna go for FI for your introverted
yeah.
feeling.
So I really don't know what's happening yet. I feel like, and just using that word is a clear indicator, but
Right.
I feel like um, my emotions shut me down sometimes. I let them get the best of me, and I don't understand it because you know I I don't know. Somewhere I got off track. My mother was an enabler, and then I married a very strong personality man, and he made lots of money, and my life didn't require anything of me.
Mm-hmm.
So just to do this self-investigation is like, I do see FI hijacking me way more than SI.
Oh, okay. Wow.
you know
Right.
so
Like you have these emotional up like upwellings, I guess. I don't know how would
yeah,
you describe it? Yeah.
I cannot hardly shift gears. I mean, I do intellectually, like, I always use this example when we climbed Masada.
Okay.
I was horrified. Those stairs are open. They're the
Right.
stuff that the vent,
That
you can see
yeah.
through them.
That sounds like Demon NE. Like you see the worst possibilities are coming and jumping out at you.
Yeah, but I won't let it hijack me. I climbed
Okay.
anyway,
Right. That's your NE. Yeah, yeah.
but
It's like
it's hard.
yeah, yeah. Because you see, like, so it's like you're seeing all these different possibilities that can happen, and you're like, I don't want these possibilities to happen. Yeah,
And live them.
and live them. Right.
Always in my head, I tell myself,
They happen.
a
Right.
coward dies 1,000 deaths, a brave man dies but one. I've died 100,000 deaths.
Wow.
Just like I was saying, if I go somewhere on a travel show, I've been there. And so, and I died when I fell off there.
Wow.
Those things are so real.
Right. The possibilities are real. Wow.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. That is really interesting. Okay, so back to your introverted feeling. Is it feminine or masculine?
Yes.
It's feminine, so you're double
Hmm.
masculine.
Hmm.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, because you mentioned like crying earlier, and crying is supposed to be a more feminine FI. Okay.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it's very vulnerable, and your your identity is do you feel like your identity is feeling at least?
I don't. I
No.
don't. That's weird because I mean, I my rational, and I don't understand the TE being, I don't understand why I'm jumping TE because I am very rational.
Right.
I mean, I don't make hasty decisions. I pay all my bills. I never let stuff lapse, you
Right.
know. So there's just, but I always feel like they might. Those FI, it always feel like it might take over.
Right. Do you spend a lot of time thinking about your past and how you feel about it?
No,
Your past? No, you don't
I'm a
dwell on the
future.
past. Future.
No, future dweller.
Future dweller. Okay, so are you trying to plan what you want a possibility in the future, and how if you'll like it or you won't like it? Is that what you're doing?
Always.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right.
It makes me very indecisive because I'm like, if I buy a motorhome, if I'm gonna have to take custody of the girls again, will it be big enough? And if if I have to take care of my parents full time, where will I park it? You know,
Interesting. Okay.
it's just and a thousand other possibilities.
All right. And what about that TE? Do you really enjoy the agreement with other people? Do you think things need to work and be practical?
Yes. Is that TE? Explain it
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can just talk in normal language. We don't need to use like the OP language to get to the points. So yeah, do you think that everyone needs to agree on things, and things need to work for
I really think they need to work. I
right,
don't think people have to agree to have
right,
unity.
right. Okay, yeah. Monica was saying that saying that it's more about things working, and if people agree, then it
Mhm.
generally works better. But they don't need to agree. It needs to
Right.
work. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. And so we talked about your TE. And you don't feel like it's a demon. You don't feel like it's a hindrance. The fact that no, that you can
No.
right. And do you think you're a double decider as well? That like I'll just explain the terms. Do you think you can decide for other people and yourself and balance between you and the others? Yeah. You feel that. Do you have
Absolutely.
an example of when that would have happened or?
Well, I mean, it's like Dave said, I'm as likely to diss myself as the person sitting across from me.
Okay.
And I always think of Tevye. On the other hand, he battles this in his mind in Fiddler on the Roof. He's back and forth with this. On the other hand, and I'm so much like that. Um, there's this side and there's that side, and I can see other people's side. Even though people are diametrically opposite of my,
Hmm.
I empathize. I know
Where they're coming from.
where,
If you're
yeah,
in conflict with them, you mean? Like if you're in
yeah,
conflict with them, you'll be like, I understand your point, and then you'll move yourself. Will you move yourself?
no,
No. You'll stay
no,
no,
no, no. But I can empathize with them, and I can.
in the heat of the moment.
Um, I think so.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's not very many heat of the moments for me.
Good for
I,
you.
I'm a real, I'm a low conflict person.
Right.
You know,
Right. Okay. But I'm
so
sure there have been. So
yeah, I'm trying to think of when I've gotten cross with. It's usually close family members, either my dad or my ex-husband.
okay. And do you feel that you like control? You need the control in your life?
I don't need to control other people,
No, not
but
people,
yeah,
but
no,
yeah.
yeah, I do. I mean, like I just would never. I have this extremely well, I shouldn't. I have a sweet daughter, but she's not responsible. And
Right.
it is. And I wouldn't have believed I was SI so much until experiencing this with her. Unpaid insurance, unpaid bills. It
Right.
just, I can't imagine. I think one time in my life I've written a hot check in college, and maybe one time I didn't pay a credit card on time.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
just, I'm like, I can't imagine.
Yeah. Right.
Running out of gas. I'm like, how do people run out of gas?
Wow.
And I do have safety checks because, like I said, sometimes I don't remember stuff. But it's on draft, or I've got an alarm set, or you know, there's a check.
Right. Interesting. Okay. So do you you said you have a high consume. So what kind of things do you like to learn or read or
Yeah, of course they type me as consume last, but
right.
I do. I live in this kind of. I mean, I since I gave custody of the girls back, I've just been home, and I watch TV all day. And even when I was working, the second I'm not working, I'm learning about something. I'm exploring something I want to understand.
Hmm.
Um, for a while it was all the physics and the black holes and dark matter, and
Right.
and I've kind of moved on that a little bit. But I mean, I've studied so many religions, and I've studied so many. I've started grad school in both philosophy and psychology. I've got 18 hours of grad work in philosophy and 14 in psychology. I get real disenchanted though, because you had to align with a school of thought. You had to be Freudian or something. And then in philosophy, there was no new thought. It's all commenting on other people's thought. So I
That's
get
weird.
disenchanted.
Yeah, that is weird.
The whole push, you know, was you got to pick this little avenue and specialize. I
Hmm.
mean, that's the way it works. There's no new Kant or Mill. There's just commentary on Kant and Mill.
Wow. That's the way it was in university.
Yeah.
Did you made it all the way through? You got a degree in philosophy or
No.
just a few
No.
courses?
Yeah. Just 2 semesters. Did 9
Okay.
hours for 2 semesters. And
Yeah, I wonder if it would continue being like that by the end, like a third year, fourth year.
yeah. But see, then and this happens to me all the time. I get a conflict in my morality. I took a feminism class, and it just rubbed me so wrong. I couldn't breathe.
Really?
And then you've crossed my moral boundaries, and
Oh.
I and then I really, and maybe I posted yesterday that I think that's the FI.
Yeah,
When
that
you
it sounds like a masculine FI though, like something that you're not willing to move. You're like you know who you are. You know.
Oh, I'm gonna start the car again. Are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me. I've
No,
got a
wait, I can see
battery
you.
plugged
We
in.
got it. Okay.
Okay. Um, the but I'm not gonna. I didn't tell anybody.
No, obviously,
I,
no. It's you.
I
Like
didn't. I
you
didn't
don't want
stand up
people to
and make
tell
a
you what to.
profession.
Right? Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You just
So I,
can't
I think
accept it on
that's
yourself.
feminine. Yeah.
No. Yes. No, but like if someone is telling you you need to believe this, you need to. So then you won't do that. You won't accept it on yourself. You're like, no, you can believe what you want, but don't make me believe this. Right.
Hmm.
So that's like that's that sounds a bit masculine. Are you willing to shift and change a little bit in your identity or no? Like,
Well, I'm real open-minded. I feel like I
yeah,
explore everything. I want to think about it. I want to think about it. I want to even push myself, like I said, to see your side completely.
right.
Um,
That could also be a feminine NE because your NE is really open to all possibilities.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Okay. What about your play? How do you experience play? Play is like maybe being present and in the moment and aware of things going on around you.
Well, you know, the rare times that I am in a social situation or just in a social, that's it. Um, I think I am playful,
Yeah.
but it's got a short, I
Like a
don't have
time
much
limit.
fuel. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
what you mean. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I almost get giggling sometimes. I feel kind of little girlish and I'm 60 years old, but
Okay. So
it's
that
real
sounds more like a
natural.
feminine. That's a feminine FI. Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
All right. You got both a feminine and masculine FI.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I want to be a part, but, you know, 2 hours, 3 hours, and I'm tapped.
Right. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I got nothing left.
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah, I know what you mean. But like when you're in those situations, you feel present, like you're not in your head, you're not in your past and like half asleep. You're there.
I'm there, but it's so rare.
Yeah. Right.
I just don't, I probably don't have maybe one or two social interactions a week
Right.
other than family.
Right. Interesting. Okay, and what about your blast? What about starting new things and getting going and stuff like that?
No, see, that didn't make any sense to me at all. I only understand blast through
Talking.
talking about something I don't know what I'm talking about. I can do that all day long. Like I said, I'll talk to you like I was in Thailand yesterday. Or there I am
Right.
going back to known facts. Did you hear that?
Right.
I went back to something I'd already said before.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, I I'll you know you, people call me and ask me stuff sometimes, and I'm like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah," like I know,
Right. Right,
and
but
I
I,
don't.
I also see that you're kind of to the point when you answer things. You don't like go off on tangents and you know,
Mm-mm.
no, you say what you need to say and then that's it. You're done. Like, yes,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true. I really want to
okay,
call Shan because I don't understand all these implications. I really
right,
want to understand better.
right,
Um, I and then I start watching videos. I say I'm going to figure it out, and I start watching videos, and I'm totally confused because I do identify with every single thing. There's so few things I don't identify with.
right, right, yeah,
The only thing I do know is, I'm definitely not a social person. I don't hate being social. I just don't,
hmm,
I don't make any effort to get out there. And I mean, I don't know how to, sit at a table with people and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
shoot the bull.
right. So yeah, is that something that commonly comes back to you that like you have difficulty understanding things with that demon NE?
Yeah, I think so. And it's very frustrating because, like I said, I do have a high IQ, but
Right,
I can be like this absent-minded professor that I cannot see the most obvious thing on the plate.
right,
And you're just like, and I'm looking as hard as I can look. Heather said, I can't even think of all the things she told me, but she was like, OI is SI or NI. And I'm like, I'd written that down 100 times,
right,
but it never converts in my brain when somebody says OI, they're talking about SI and NI.
right.
I have to, no,
The
no.
links,
And
the links, the
yeah,
links between them aren't there, like the
yeah,
connections.
no.
Right,
Like I never was one of those, I was one of those kids that never learned their left from the right. I knew north, south before I learned my left from my right.
right.
And I still have to go.
Wow.
It's a brain gap.
Yeah, that's tough. What about chaos, chaotic situations and things? Is that something that comes and bites you? Like you're, yeah,
I don't know. They gave me Martha Stewart, so I've watched and watched and watched her because I'm like, how can a woman who runs a multi-million-dollar empire be like me who sits in her lounge chair?
right,
You know, but she was on Good Morning America one time cooking, and I mean, all four hosts are cutting up around her, dipping in her stuff and making jokes and bending over laughing, and she continues to cook. And that is me.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, and I'm just like, that's the only time I really, really identified with her.
Um,
They gave me when she got out of prison an interview and some other interviews, but I mean, I would just keep cooking.
right. So like if there's chaos going on around you, you'll just stick to what you're doing, and that'll be your safe zone.
Hmm.
Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you, Laura. Very nice. Do you have anything you want to promote, or any final?
No,
No. Do you have any
no,
final words, final ideas, like something nice you want to pass on to the tribe?
no. I really appreciate this because, like I said, I don't like to be needy or self focused, but I do want to learn, and there is a gap in SI information,
Yes,
honestly,
for sure. Yeah, you're my first
especially.
lead SI. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I wonder why that the personality community doesn't attract SIs. Any thoughts?
Oh, you could tell me better than anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
do think what they say about their SIs that come on board slow, I
Yeah.
think that'll happen to me.
I think also maybe SIs don't like to be categorized. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you
I
identify with
don't.
that too? You don't. Yeah.
Yes.
And they don't want to be told like, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So that might be one of the reasons, but
Okay.
also SIs are also usually more straightforward and straight to the point, and all of this wishy-washy stuff is just like, it seems like, what's it called, extra, something that you don't need,
Oh,
you know,
so
superfluous, is that
superfluous.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something, is that also SI, that like you don't like the superfluous stuff, you want to be on like focused on task on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts, ma'am, only the facts. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
maybe that's one of the reasons.
But, I mean, if it's something, I mean, I cannot stand to listen to somebody regurgitate their day. But boy, if they're telling me about, their printer and they loaded the printing press and there was a problem with ink, I'm like, really? You know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, thank you very much, Laura, for taking the
Okay.
time and coming out. Yeah, I really
I was so
appreciate it, and
excited.
yeah, and it's so good to get some SI out there for sure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
have a good one.
Thank you.